Alright, so hey, hi everyone, Mohit Chaudhary this side. Hope you're doing absolutely great. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and I hope the previous two videos added some value to you. And this video is all about the probable questions that are generally asked in the South Indian Bank recruitment, and the questions that you all asked in the previous two videos of the SIB interview. So this video is all about that. So let's start. Alright, so I'll start with the probable questions that are generally asked. Alright, so the interview will start with an introduction. The first thing, the first question that they would ask, or the questions that they will ask, is from your academics background. Whatever field you may be in, they will ask questions from that. Not very deep, but at least an overview about your background. Suppose I did bachelor's or master's in finance, or I did some internships in finance or in marketing. So at least they have a brief idea about marketing and finance. So they will ask some questions regarding relating to that, relating to your internships or relating to your qualifications. So you should have a thorough knowledge about your, or you should have a a better understanding about academics that you have done. So that is the thing. One more thing that from my last video, many of you have been confused with the fact that I have mentioned that people with good academics will be preferred. So that is not the thing. That was very misunderstood from my last video. They prefer academically well sound student, but it is not the case that every time they will be selecting only the academically brilliant students, because अगर वैसी करनी होती then they would have jotted down the list of top students from every college, and they would have selected the top 3 and 4 colleges. So that's not like that. If you have the right skills and knowledge, then obviously they will prefer you. So that is the thing. So the first thing is your academics questions and your internships questions. So be well aware of your academics. So that is the first thing. Alright, so another basic question is about the normal banking. Like, you must have visited bank. Everyone has a bank account right now. Almost everyone, we have a bank account. So at least a normal banking related questions. They know that you are not into banking. You must not be knowing banking, right? So that is why they are hiring you, and obviously they will train you for that. So उतनी deep knowledge की ज़रूरत नहीं है in case of banking knowledge, but at least you should have a brief, you should have a good understanding about banking, what banking is, what are the features that you are currently using, what all things that you think that should be improved in the banking sector, and what are the positive and the negative things that you have faced while being a customer of any bank. So that is the thing that they will ask. All the normal banking questions, nothing as such. And if you don't know also, then they won't be judging you on this, but at least you should answer something in a positive note. Alright, so the another question is why you chose South Indian Bank over other private sector bank, or why South Indian Bank and not any other bank. So that is the question that you need to prepare well, and for that, in the answer you should be including about your interest or inclination towards the banking sector, how excited you are about the banking job or the banking role, or about or the South Indian Bank. And first of all, you have to make them understand why you chose the banking sector and not any other sector. And you have to also mention that monetary thing is not that really matters. That is the point where you need to express your philosophical view, like your inclination towards banking sector, excitement towards this sector, towards the financial thing. So that is the thing. And also, why South Indian Bank? You should be saying that it is one of the most advanced bank in case of small scale digital banking is concerned. Also, this is one of the most rapidly expanding private sector bank. Also, it's one of the most oldest private bank. So you have to mention that also. And that this organization is something that is very ethical in his approach, and sustaining for such a long time in India That too, being a private bank is a great deal of concern, and I think I'll be more than happy to start my banking career with like South Indian Bank. I'll be highly obliged. So these are some answers that you could give, and obviously you will add some of your own answers and points. But the basic thing that you need to understand and that you need to convey is that the monetary thing is not the only reason why you are joining South Indian Bank. That is not the salary part, but what else you will gain from this job, or what else you can offer. That is the thing. Also, you should not be comparing any South Indian Bank with any other private bank. That would not be creating a good impact, so, or an impression. So you should not be comparing, but you should stick to South Indian Bank and what are the positive things that you could say. That is the only thing with this question. Alright, so I've already told this in the previous videos that the place where you belong, you should be knowing about that place. What is the positive thing about your place? What is the most famous thing about your place? So that is the one question that they'll be asking for sure. So the another question is, where is the headquarter of South Indian Bank located? So that is Thrissur, Kerala. So you should be knowing that. Alright, so one more thing, whatever answer you give, you should be very positive with your approach. And see, why I'm saying all these things, that this interview is all about confidence. This interview is all about your attitude towards the questions. This interview is all about your positive approach towards the questions that they ask. This video is not about knowledge. People, they are not finding this very interesting, that how come this happened, that in a banking interview they not be judging our knowledge and all stuff. Yes, definitely they'll be seeing that, but they'll more rely or focus on your soft skills, because I've already said they'll be judging your confidence. They'll be judging your leadership skills by putting you in hypothetical situations, and these situations might be anything. Always be confident with your answers. Never hesitate to say no to any questions if you don't know the answer here, right? If you don't know any answer, please tell that upfront, that you don't know that answer at the moment, because it is not possible anyone to know everything on the right time. So that is not possible. So tell that upfront. Alright, so these are only the probable questions that are generally asked. And one more thing, many of you have said that yours was the college placement and this is the IBPS level exams. So this will obviously be different. But my point here is, how come that matters, right? If the qualification or the eligibility criteria is same, if the post that they are hiring for is same, so how does that matter if I have been selected through college placement or we have been selected through IBPS exams? So I don't think that really matters, because if they are selecting for the same role with same eligibility criteria, then I don't think there's any difference between a college placement or a IBPS PO or IBPS clerical level exams or hiring. So obviously there might be some detailed questions, but on overall the interview will remain the same, right? Alright, so let us now start with the common questions that you asked in the comment section in the last two videos regarding the interview. So the very first question is regarding the domicile thing, that so I belong to that place and I have filled the form for this place. Should I sit for the interview? So the answer is that obviously yes, you should sit for the interview. Your place of domicile doesn't matter, because ultimately they'll be putting you at a location that they want. So anyway you have to shift your place. So your place of domicile doesn't play a major role. If possible, they'll give you if you're selected, they'll give you a branch near your place, but that is not the case every time. They will anyway put you in a place where they really need you. So place of domicile will not make a major impact, so you could definitely sit for the interview. Another common question was regarding the current affairs. So current affairs are not really asked. The only thing that they ask is about the basic banking terms, basic banking thing, and that too, if you don't know, tell that upfront that I don't remember. I am here to learn those things. That should be your answer if you don't know any of the financial thing, right? You are here sitting for the interview because you want to learn those things, and not that you already know that thing. You are a fresher. They are hiring fresh candidates, and it is not possible that you will be knowing everything. So that can be learned, right? Some of the financial questions, finance related questions, they might ask, but I have not seen any of my friends or any of my colleagues saying that they ask too much of financial questions. They will ask basic banking terms or basic banking questions. So current affairs not really asked. The question was, higher marks create a higher impact or great academics will create an impact. There is no such thing. You have been selected on the basis of your online test. There the marks didn't matter, and the eligibility criteria was only 60%. Whoever crossed 60%, they can sit for the online test and the interview. So in the interview also, they'll be judging you and not your academics. But yes, if in case they have your resume, so they'll obviously be judging you first with your academics, the first impression. That is what I wanted to say in the last video. So that is all about the impression, not the decided thing. Academics are not the decider. They will add to your chances of getting selected, but your decider would be obviously your interview. So academics will not be a major hindrance if you are an average student, or not an average student. If you got an average marks, no student is an average student. Alright, so another question was, what will be the difference between the online and the offline interview? And I think this time the interview will be conducted online, and previously in my time the interview was also conducted online. So yes, there will be difference. They won't be seeing you in person, but they'll definitely, there will be a video conference, and yes, 4 to 5 panel will be there, because they'll be on your screen there will be 4 to 5 different screens of all the different people, maybe from different places, maybe different regions. So yes, panel will be there. Generally in the off-campus recruitments, the IBPS hiring people are also there, including the banking staffs obviously. So yes, bank HRs as well as the IBPS representatives, they all will be there. Difference between the online and the offline interview, there's no such difference, because they will anyway you won't be in person. So that is the positive thing, ki you won't be feeling nervous, or nervousness nahi rahegi, and you could be comfortable at your home. You could be well prepared, and all you need to do is face the screen. So that is one positive thing, and rest the interview will remains the same. There's no such difference. Alright, so another question was, what is the preferred language? The language in which the interview is conducted. So I've already said that interview is generally conducted, or is preferably conducted, in English. I've already said that English would be the preferred language, so try to communicate in English. But if that is not the case, you could ask the panel to switch into your regional language if they are comfortable, or into Hindi if they are comfortable. So I think English is the preferred language for the interview. Alright, so one of you asked about the gap related question. If we have any gap of 1 or 2 years or 2 to 3 years, how should we tackle those questions? So obviously gap related questions will be asked, and you should have a proper answer that why you took the gap, and you should be answering honestly in this area, because you should have a valid reason for having a gap of 2 years or having a gap of 1 year. That might be the case that you were preparing for some exams, or you were searching for a good job, or there was any financial or there was any uncertainty with your family or with you, that could be anything, and you should be telling that upfront, the reality about that gap. So there's no such thing of hiding anything. One of the subscribers, one of you were asking about the last quarter profits, if that would be asked in the interview. So dear, they won't be getting into so much of details. All you need to know about the bank is the bank products that they're offering, or the key products that you think is different from the other banks. You should go through the bank's website. They will ask questions on the bank website. What are the things that you liked in the bank website? How did you felt about the interface? What is unique about the South Indian Bank website? So all those things that you need to know. So the question is simply that. And about the interest rates, they might ask the interest rate, but you should be the basic, the 1 year interest rate, or the 1 year's, 2.5 years and 5 years. That is enough. They won't be asking so much of complicated questions, so do not worry about that. Stay confident. That is the only key thing that they will see. So basic idea about the interest rates and the bank website. And yes, some of you have said that they have not asked for the resume, so that is a good thing, that the interview would be very neutral. They won't be asking, they won't be judging you beforehand, before you entering into the interview room. So that is a one positive thing, and you could take the advantage of that. And you should be focusing on your confidence, your communication, your attitude, and your positivity right through the interview. You will notice all those things after you attend the interview, like whatever I'm saying, how that is important. Many of you might have not feel like these are relevant things, but as soon as you appear for the interview, you'll be the first one to comment down that yes, these things were very important. They judged us on these things, because I'm not the only one who faced these things. My seniors, my colleagues, they also faced the same thing, and they have shared to us those experiences. So that is why I'm sitting here. These are the small things that would be creating an impact, because once you're selected, you will be the face of bank. And nowadays banking is more about marketing than the basic banking operations have become a default thing, and the marketing thing, or the customer service, or the customer focus have become the major thing nowadays in the entire banking sector. So they will be judging you obviously on your confidence, on your communication, and on your attitude. So all these things are very relevant. Once you sit for the interview, you will be knowing these things. One of the very common question is it worth joining SIB? I'll make a separate video on that, but as of now, definitely yes. Seeing the options that you are having, if you have, in case if you ask about the private bank, then definitely yes, this is the best you can get. And if you have any government bank options, then obviously you should go with that. But as of now, if you don't have any offers, if you don't have any other job, you should be definitely going with this job. SIB is worth every penny, so you won't be regretting after joining SIB. Alright, so one question was regarding the career objective questions, if it is asked. So the career objective question, that differs right accordingly. Yes, obviously this question will be asked. So your answer to this question of career objective should be, that is obviously your answer, you have to prepare it, but that should be revolving around the banking industry. That should be revolving around South Indian Bank, that you would be wanting to grow with the bank, and you want to be at the higher position of South Indian Bank board, and you want to pursue your career with South Indian Bank the entire time, and you should be moving ahead in your career with South Indian Bank. All you need to focus while answering this question is that I'll be moving with South Indian Bank, right? I'll be moving with South Indian Bank, and I'd like to be on the highest position possible in South Indian Bank. So that is the thing I think would be creating an impact. Okay, so one of a specific question from one individual was regarding that I'm working in an IT sector, and should I reveal my work experience or not? So the thing here is, it depends upon what role you were in your previous job, and that is completely you. If you are having a job experience of more than 1 year or 2 years, you can still defend that I was preparing for this exam or that exam. But if you are having an experience of 2 to 3 years, 3 years, then you could not defend that, right? 3 years is a huge gap. 1 year or 2 years is still okay, but anything above 2 years is something of great concern. So if you have a work experience of 2 years and above, you should be mentioning your work experience. And I think work experience won't be a hindrance for you. You could definitely, you are free to switch your career, and if you have interest towards the banking sector, you could obviously switch to banking sector anytime. And obviously, if you are in IT segment, banks also have IT segments, IT departments. So definitely they will love to have you on board if you mention your work experience. They will definitely, if you're interested in IT operations, they'll be, once they hire you, they'll be switching your departments or according to your area of expertise. So that is the one positive thing that you could have. Internal transfers or internal switching of departments happens definitely, and they would prefer you first before hiring from any external authority. If you're good in IT, they'll be hiring you first. Other than that, they'll be going out for external hiring, because that will cost you more than hiring you on the first basis. So that will give you an impact. While introducing yourself, you could be mentioning about your work experience. Questions about salary and all that stuff, you could DM me on my Instagram profile or on my LinkedIn profile. I'll be answering those things there. I generally try to answer all the DMs on LinkedIn as well as on Instagram. So questions relating to salary structure and all those things, you could ping me over there. I'll be answering all those questions there.
Alright, so I was left with one more question, and that was regarding the joining thing, that you have not been given a specific time in which your interview will be conducted, but it not works like that. The interviews are conducted in lots, so there are specific lot of people given a specific time frame in which the interview is conducted. Suppose you have been given a time period of 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So you have to wait for the entire time. You have to join the meeting 9 a.m. and you have to wait throughout, because that is how it works. Your interview will be conducted anytime and you have to wait through the entire time. So that is the thing in case of joining. As soon as you join on suppose 9 a.m. you will be on hold until your turn comes. So that is how it works. So for the joining thing, you have to wait for the entire time, and as soon as your interview gets over, you could leave the meeting, or you can ask that whether you could leave the meeting or not. So that is how it works.
All right, so I think this is it. I think this video would be more helpful to you or more relevant to you, because I think you were searching for these things about the questions, about the probable questions. So I think this will add more value to you. The intention or my idea of giving or uploading those videos were to give you a brief idea about how the interview works of the South Indian Bank interview, or how it looks like. Alright, so if you have any queries left, you could comment down in the comment section, or you can DM me on my Instagram or on my LinkedIn profile. I'll be answering those questions there. Alright, so till then, keep working hard and keep hustling. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.